Yeah.
You pressed it? All right, it should be red at the bottom. You only got to press it once. You don't have to touch anything else. Golden? All right. I got my man Jace behind the camera. I'm gonna give you some love quick.
Yep.
Got my man Jace behind the camera.
No days off.
I've been on my grind just to live it out. Say what's on your mind.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Yes. And we are back with another episode of the Dope Individuals Only podcast. I'm Eric, the host, and I'm up here with another dope individual. Please introduce yourself.
My name is Nick Asenjo. I'm the owner of Nick Asenjo Films and Image Nation Creative Consulting Company.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, been shooting videos for about 10 years now. So,
Really?
Yeah.
It's been 10. The first time I think I heard about you was like 2020.
Okay.
And I seen, and I was like, yo, this dude's skilled with a camera. Who bought you your first camera?
So I bought myself my first camera.
Really?
Yeah. So
Oh, shit.
when
Okay.
it comes to the camera world, I used to rap in
Okay.
high school.
Ooh.
Yeah, I used to rap in high school. So what happened was I used to make music. I used to engineer.
Okay.
I think I got to a point where it was like, all right, let me get my music to sound how I want it to sound. So I was just focusing on the engineering aspect of things. So I tried to learn how to engineer,
Yeah.
how to get better in that world. And then once I felt like I got to a certain place where I was like, all right, the song sounds decent. It sounds to a level that I kind of want.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's missing? I need a video.
You need a video.
I need a video, right? And at that time, I was like just getting excited into it. I mean, I would rap for a lot. Like people knew me in high school for rapping.
Yeah.
You're talking about like 2009.
Where'd you go to school at?
Whitehall High School.
Whitehall, okay.
Yeah. So you're talking like 2009, 2010. I graduated in 2010.
Okay. Yeah,
So it's like-
you got me by a couple years. I graduated 13.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So when I got it to sound how I wanted it to sound, I'm like, all right, I need a video. So I think at that time, like I had a friend that was really into doing videos. Like he self-taught himself,
Yeah.
like YouTube or whatever.
Yeah.
And he showed me the camera and I was like, yo, this looks crazy. Like it was the first time me seeing like a DSLR and like seeing somebody on it. And I'm like, why does it look like a movie almost?
Yeah,
It's
like real cinematic.
Yeah, real cinematic. So I was like, yo, this is crazy. How do you do that? So when I saw him do that, it got me excited and I'm like, all right, well, I was just starting off in college and there was an elective at LTRIC.
Okay.
Right, so there's an elective, like a video editing elective. I'm like, all right, let me just take
Like,
that.
yeah, let me see what this is all
Let me
about.
just see that, right? I had
Yeah.
to take class anyway, so as soon as I did that, bro, like that changed everything for me.
Was that like fuck the music at this point? Was it
So-
kind of like that?
So I think the biggest thing too was I used to engineer for people. So
Mhm.
like I've always been the type to like kind of do like my own type of business, right? So I had people come to my house, and it's kind of what we were talking about
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
After a while, if people come into your house, you're like, damn, I gotta
I gotta separate this shit.
I gotta-
Yeah.
It's like, it can get a little confusing. It's like I wanted to be able to do something where people didn't have to come to my house.
Yeah.
Even though I got to a point where I was making good bread, like I was making $50 an hour, and
That ain't. Yeah, that's not bad at all.
17 years old, $50 an hour for yourself, I was pretty hype. But once I did the video elective class, it just kind of gave me that, all right, well, let me just start doing it for myself.
Yeah.
So I started pairing the music with a couple videos, and with that elective class, I started learning like little tricks on how to edit, how to do certain stuff, and yeah, I did a video for myself. I got it to a point where I kind of liked it, and I put it out.
Okay.
And
That's the hardest part is doing
Yo.
something for yourself and then be like, this is good enough to give to people.
Exactly.
I was just talking with Loud Pack about that.
Yeah,
We kind of like want to be selfish. Like we want it to be perfect, but
yeah,
we're-
exactly.
Yeah.
No, you're right, because it's funny you say that, because the first video I put out, I was like, fucking, I'm gonna put it out. And then I remember running into my boy Hitman. He does videos
Big
too.
shout out to Hitman. Yeah, I had him up here.
Hitman.
Big shout out.
I remember running into him when I first started getting into the video stuff.
Mhm.
And I told him, I was like, I got this other music video I did for myself, and I'm editing, I'm going to put it out. He's like, yeah, you got to put it out. Fast forward 3 months later, I still didn't put it out. And I run into him again.
Yeah.
He's like, yo, what the fuck, man? He's like, yo, put that video. I was like, nah, man, I'm like too picky. I don't know what to do. Like, he's like, just put it out. And
Just put it out.
ever since then, like I always, every time I see him, I tell him that moment, because that was like key to me. It's like, all right, try not to perfect everything.
Yeah.
Over time, you're gonna get better, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I started putting stuff out. My first client was Ant Wave.
Big shout out to Ant Wave.
Yeah, Ant Wave. That was my
It
first.
seems
client.
like you work with them often, like him and LG.
Yeah.
Big
Yeah,
shout out to
for
LG
sure,
as well.
For sure. Yeah, Ant Wave was my first client. As soon as I put that video out, he's like, "Yo, I want one."
That's what's up.
And yeah, I was able to make $150, and I didn't have to bring somebody to my crib. You know, like that was the
It's
best
a
part.
different, it's a different feeling.
Like now I don't gotta bring it to my house. You don't know where I live. I can go and just do my thing, right? And I have fun doing it. We had fun, and I just remember the big videographer at that time was Jack 9.
Big shout out to Jack 9.
Jack 9.
I had a question in referencing like other popular videographers from the area and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So we'll move into it. But big shout out to Jack 9.
It's definitely a good friend of mine. Definitely, I would say a good person that I can talk to whenever I need anything. And I'm saying that to say this, you know, when I did that first video for Ant, I wanted feedback. Like I was never the type to be scared to ask, right?
Yeah.
So I knew he was the biggest one out here, and I just loved his work. I'm like, damn, I wish I could do what he's doing. So I hit him up. I hit him up on Facebook, and I was like, yo, would you mind like reviewing his video? It's my first video I'm doing for anybody, and I would love to hear your input.
Yeah. That's what's up.
I sent it to him. Yeah, I sent it to him, and a week later, I was with him in New York. He had invited me on set.
That's
Yeah.
dope.
Yeah, bro. To like just be there to see how he did a video.
See how it operates.
Yeah.
What was that feeling like being like on? Because that was probably your first time being on an actual set.
Yeah.
So what was that like?
It was that at first I was not gonna lie, it was definitely intimidating.
Yeah.
Like it's like
this is how far we can scale this shit kind of thing.
But even then too, like he wasn't even at the point where he's at now.
Yeah.
You know, it was just regular going to a spot. But the way he set himself up, he knew what he was doing. He knew where to put lights. He knew where to put reflectors. Like he had a friend with him. Like he was.
It was very organized. Yeah.
And at that time, I think he was charging like $1,500 a video, which is great.
Yeah, especially
great.
for what he's capable of doing.
It's great. But now you're talking dudes charging 30 bands a video.
30
You know what I'm
bands,
saying?
yeah.
So it's like.
Shoot, what do you charge for a video?
I mean, it all depends on what I'm doing.
What do you? Okay.
I would say that I don't have like a price list. I don't have. I mean, typically for music videos, I'll probably start at $1,000.
Okay.
You know, but I try to work with people. Like I've been more, like the music is my passion, but I make a lot more money in the commercial lane. Like meaning dealing with businesses, dealing with different organizations, dealing with different.
I seen you were doing something with elevated elevated fitness.
Yeah, Elevated
that was a
Fitness.
really good video. I drive past that building every day, have
Yep.
no clue what they do in there, but I click on your page and I actually get to see what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, this is pretty dope. Like I don't think people know that we have facilities like that here in
Yeah.
Allentown.
Exactly.
So
Exactly. Now, Elevated is cool, man. I've been working out with them. That's also like a thing I'm doing this year. Like I'm trying to get my fitness right. You know, trying to
everybody
take care
trying
of
to get
my
in
health.
shape.
Trying to take care of my health.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like now I got connected with them and they're super dope. They do like a HIIT class. It takes like an hour every day.
Okay.
You know, they got a class at 6 a.m.
Are you part of
7
that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what's up. And you like it?
I love it.
You like it?
I love it because
love
I
it.
like to lift, but like that type of workout keeps your heart rate going. So like in
It's
10 minutes,
fast paced. It's
bro,
high
in 10
intensity.
minutes, my whole shirt is
You're
wet.
sweaty.
Yeah, so it's like it is cool because like they have the class at 6, 7, and 8:30 every morning. So once you're there at 6, it starts at 6. By 6:50, you out.
That's
You
what's
know
up.
what I mean? So in 50 minutes, you get a full body workout.
Go
and
go
you
check
get
it out
of
for you guys locally looking for Yahweh to get back into fitness and everything like that.
Yeah.
Yo, some of the credits you got is superb. How like did you shoot a music video for Bad Bunny? Is that what it was?
So with Bad Bunny, I got the pleasure of
I got a
working
couple.
with
I got
him.
a couple questions about your credits.
Yeah, no, I like that. I like that. So with him, I got the pleasure of working with him when he came out here to do a show.
Okay.
So it was early in his career, and it's crazy because that was my first show at a club, like my first club video.
And it's Bad
And
Bunny.
it's Bad Bunny, bro. Like never. Done a
Wait, I was
club
gonna
video.
say like when on that at that time, did you think he was gonna be who he is now? Like, could you see the stardom?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So you're probably sitting behind that camera like, yo, I'm really here doing this shit right now.
Yeah, he's different. He's
Wow.
different. Bad Bunny's different.
That's
for
fire.
Sure. It's crazy because they booked him. He did a show, I think in September.
Okay.
The show was in September, and they booked him like in June. Right?
Damn, for the next year.
No, June. Yeah, like a couple months before.
Yeah.
The show, right? And in that time frame, he blew up. Like that was when he first started. So like within 6 months, he became like the biggest artist out.
Yeah.
And there was no artist in Spanish music that really blew up that fast.
Yeah.
Like he went from 0 to 100 in 6 months, you know, to the top of the top.
And then after him, it was like he was like the Kool-Aid man. He like bust open the door for everybody. And then you get this whole Dembow movement coming right after it, and you get female artists, you know. That's incredible. Is there any like hopes that you're gonna be able to work with him again, or is there already plans or something like that?
Yeah, it would be dope. It definitely would be dope. What was I gonna say?
What about the PNB Rock? I seen PNB Rock was up there as well.
PNB Rock was at One Center Square.
Okay.
That was early in my show days too. Got the opportunity to film with him. That was cool too.
That's awesome, man. Like
you
how
got any tissues by any chance?
Yeah.
This cat is gonna start messing with me. I can feel it.
All right, 1 second. Ooh.
As soon as I walk in, I see a cat.
Yeah.
He's like, "Yo, you allergic to cats?"
I should ask. I should put that like on the questionnaire. Well, it doesn't matter anymore. What's good, Fetty? Yo, thank you guys for tapping in. Thank you guys for watching the show live. You know what I mean? Got my man Nick Asenjo up here and everything. So, yo, stick with us. Stick with us. All right, we back. So I forget where we were. Yeah. So like the credits. Have working with those type of people ended up like helping you in any way of your videography career? And how far do you think this thing could go?
So I think it helps me in the sense of people like to see things. And I say, like, for me, I sell perception, right?
Yeah.
I sell perception. And perception works in business aspects, whereas people believe what they see, right?
Yes.
Did I get paid a lot of money for dealing with Bad Bunny and PNB Rock? No. Can I charge other people more because they see me dealing with them?
Yeah.
Yes. You know what I mean? So that's when I say it's a perception thing. Like, it helps me in the fact that, okay, I've done a Mercedes commercial. I've done Porsche. I've done, Bad Bunny, Didi Osama, PNB Rock. I've done these big names, but I haven't, like, I don't get rich off these people, right? I'm not able to make a huge living dealing with these people, but it helps me in the aspect when I deal with other
people.
clients.
Yeah. And it probably will get you in other spaces too, because, you're connected with them in some way, shape, or form, and they're like, okay, well, I did work with this one dude named Nick Asenjo. He's talented. He's a little bit smaller from the Allentown area. You know what I mean? And then maybe something coming your way that way.
Yep.
That's incredible. Like, I can only imagine. I'll be honest. When shout out to Fetty for this too, because Fetty set it up. Yep. Fetty calls me. He's like, "Yo, I was just with Nick," and I'm like, "Who's Nick?" He's like, "Nick Asenjo, the videographer." I'm like, "Oh, that's what's up." He's like, "Yeah, he told me to hit you up because he wants to get on the show." I was like, "I'd love to have Nick on the show." You know what I mean? Like, I've been making my rounds for like all the people in Allentown that I've always wanted to work with in some type of aspect. You know what I'm saying? So to hear that you wanted to be a part of this, bro, I'm eternally grateful because I am a huge fan of your work, bro. I was like, this dude's incredibly talented. Like there aren't many. There's a lot of people that shoot videos. There aren't a lot that make it look like they actually care about the art side of it. You know what I mean? Some of the the work speaks for itself. Tell me a little bit about platform, because I had STG Sammy up here and he did one of your platforms, and then so what's that all about?
So the platform started in August of last year. It was pretty much like just me. Like, I always seen the mic performances getting hot. Like, for like the past 2 years, they've really been buzzing. Yeah. And like, I kind of never, in my head, I'm like, I'm not gonna do that because somebody else is already doing it. Right. I've seen it done. But then it took me a little bit to just think like I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna make it my own way. Yeah. Right. So I just remember buying a mic and I'm like, yo, I'm gonna just start these platforms. I started with LG is, because like any idea I ever have, I would always hit him up and be like, yo, can you be the first one? Yeah. Can you pioneer this with me? Yeah. It's a good artist to have as your first one. That's a fact. That's a fact. Like, once I did it with him, I put up the mic, the love started buzzing, bro. Like, I probably did in 3 months. I did it straight for like 3 months, right? And in 3 months, I probably did like 120 artists. Holy shit! Yeah, bro. What's the turnaround on those? Because I know they're kind of like freestyles in a way. They're like minute and a half, 2 minutes. Yeah. Like turn around, like editing wise.
Yeah. Like
so I was able to really like formulate it and pretty much able to turn them around like 1 to 2 weeks.
okay, that's
Yeah.
not bad, but that's a lot of work, man.
But so the way I told myself this, right? Like I gotta make this affordable to people.
Yes.
First of all, like I said, my music video started $1,000. I don't get the chance to work with a lot of people.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm like, this is kind of my way of also giving back to the people I can't work with.
Yes.
So the only way I said it would work is if I do a bunch of them in one day, and then I could charge you like $250 a pop.
Then it'll be worth my time.
It'll be worth my time. I take a day. So luckily enough, everybody that was willing to do it, they respected my schedule. I was banging out like 10 to 12 a day.
Holy shit,
Yeah.
my man was working.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot of work, man.
No,
That's a
it's
lot of work.
definitely long, exhausting days. But it was cool, bro. It was just dope. Everybody was happy. Everybody was loving it.
How does it feel to have something that like to build something that people are excited to be a part of? Like, not everybody knows that feeling.
Yeah.
So like, what's it like for you? Like you get this outpouring of love. You say I hit up LG just to see if he'll pioneer it with me, not knowing how it's gonna play out, and then you get this flood of people.
It's definitely humbling, man. It makes me feel good that people like what I do. I think over the years, like I've really started to appreciate that more. Like I get paid to make people happy.
Yeah.
Right.
And help bring their creations to life.
Yeah, exactly. And that's something I can't take for granted. Like even during the show times, I was a lot younger, like being at these PNB Rocks, Bad Bunny, all the people I got to work with at shows and stuff, like big arenas, all these big places, right? But I wasn't mentally like there.
Yeah.
Like I was young, I'm getting fucked up at all these spots,
you're
I'm
just like you're
myself,
yeah,
right?
yeah, you're really, really involved, immersed in it.
Yeah.
And you're not, that's understandable. I would probably be the same way. Just being in that space for the first time, like you never know if you're gonna get back there at that time. So you immerse yourself in whatever's going on in that moment in time. Do you have any artists that like, I don't want to put you on the spot, but do you have any artists that like you like working with more than like, all right, so you start everything out with like LG is, you know what I'm saying? Like, do you have an artist that you really enjoy shooting their content for them?
I would say I have a couple artists that I've actually become friends with, like that tends to happen with me with people that I work with. I end up becoming friends. And it makes that relationship a lot easier. Yeah. Like I would say transitioning for 10 years, right? In the beginning, it was a lot. I didn't have nothing to show for. Yeah. So it's a lot of, yo, do you want to work with me? Yeah. All right. Well, the artist will come to me and be like, yo, Nick, I want to do A, B, C, and D. I got no creative control. Yeah. Nobody knows what I can do. Nobody trusts what I can do. I think over time, with a lot of the artists that I've been able to work with, they give me a lot of creative control because they respect what I do and they see that I can do it on a higher scale.
You got a vision. You got a vision. Yeah.
So, but it's not to say like you're gonna come to me and I got 100% the idea. I always ask people, it's like, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? My whole point is just to be able to spice it up a little bit and level it up. But I would say like artist-wise, like I definitely like working with LG. LG's huge. I love the fact that he's an artist. Like
he has a lot of spunk. Yeah. Like energy.
Yeah. I've worked with a lot of artists and you don't see it in a lot of artists where they could just be themselves and it comes out natural. Mm-hmm. Like when he starts rapping, I record, I don't have to tell him anything. He just does whatever he wants and it works. It feels natural. It doesn't feel forced. Mm-hmm. So it's definitely cool to work with him. My other boy, Rose, I feel Young Rose.
Eric Rose?
Nah, his name is Young
Rose.
Rose. Yeah, Young Rose.
Yeah. Does he sound like kind of like he's like from down south?
Nah.
Okay, because I know somebody
he got
like
a super unique sound.
Okay.
But what I like about
big shout out.
Yeah, I've been working with him since he was like 15. Okay. And I think he's 18 now. 18,
couple
19,
years in the making. Yeah. So you're watching him grow as an artist
and as a person.
Yeah.
It's dope to see that. But his sound is evolving. The way he raps, the way he does his things is evolving.
So you're actually fans of the artist that you work with. It isn't necessarily just like I'm showing up to help them bring a vision to life.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
I got a huge list. I don't want to.
Again, rip off two more. Rip off two more.
Leave people out.
Because this is an opportunity for them as well. Yeah. To have their names, showcased for their abilities and what they bring to the table. So
Fetty, of course, he put this together.
Fetty,
I like Fetty.
He is. I'm not sure like in what capacity you know him, but I grew up with him. Okay. And bro, it's so crazy because for years I hadn't seen him. You know, he went through his life the way it played out. But when he came home, one of the first things we did was reconnect. And bro, he still acts like the kid I met when I was 10 years old,
Word.
like that 13-year-old kid. Like it's really dope. Fetty's definitely has a lot of character, and he's a hell of an artist too.
Yeah.
He's very versatile.
I like the fact that he's hungry.
Yeah,
He's hungry. He wants
Yeah.
it. He's starting to do videos now too, which
and he's willing to learn too. That's the other thing. Like I linked up with him like about a week and a half ago because I'm helping him on his documentary, and I'm working with him on his documentary. And he had like the entire setup in a bag. Like he had the cameras, the lights, everything. He was like, "Yo, I got everything we need."
Yep.
I was like, "Yo, this dude, like you're multifaceted. He's getting into different arenas."
Yeah, and I
stuff
think
like that.
that's one of the biggest things I like about him is the fact that he's willing to learn, right? Because like even me, 10 years in the game, I'm still learning. I'm still learning. Once you shut yourself out and you think you know it all, you really just stop
that's when you
yourself.
plateau. Yeah,
for sure.
How do you feel about like the AI like playing a role into like the music videos? Do you use any of it? Does it make your process a little bit easier?
I used AI, like for video wise. I used AI for one or two projects where it like made like somebody like turn into like a demonic character or something.
Okay, that's
Which
unique.
It was cool, but like I'll be honest, I use a lot for like script writing.
Okay,
Like I'll use Chat GPT for script writing and like ideas and
that's
stuff.
probably the most AI I use is Chat GPT. That shit's so useful.
No, it's super dope, bro. Cause like you can tell it, write me a 30-second commercial for a dealership that has to do with selling this brand new Honda 2023 or whatever, right? And it'll write it in like a script format. So like a script format is it'll tell you exactly what to say and it'll put the actual scenario there, like shoot from this angle.
I was gonna say it tells you like when to pan and stuff and everything. Wow,
yeah, bro.
See, I only use it for the podcast, like notes and descriptions and things like that. And I'm like, hey, can you help me write a podcast description? And I give them show notes. Yeah. And then it'll pull it up. But sometimes it like the verbiage it uses is entirely too proper. I be like, make it sound more urban.
Yeah, word.
You gotta make this digestible for people.
No, for sure. But it's like a good starting point.
Yeah, it is.
Right?
It definitely is, and it speeds up the work process too.
Exactly.
I really like a lot of these things that they have, like because like for podcasts, you know, you get multiple camera angles.
Yeah.
That's something that I want to do with this move coming up.
Yeah.
And they have like all this software where it'll cut the cameras for you, like it'll pan to the person that's talking and things like that.
I've seen
now, I don't know how to use any of it yet, but I'm excited because I know making the clips for this show sometimes like it'd be a little hellish.
Yeah.
God damn, I gotta splice all this stuff. I gotta put it together.
Yeah.
Gotta swap the camera angles for whoever's talking. Like it's a lot of work. So
Yeah.
and that's why I have a deep appreciation for what you guys do, because it's a lot to sit in front of a computer and just put shit together and piece it all together. Like, you know, and you probably take what, like over 30 shots within one video, correct?
Yeah, for sure.
That's a lot of film to go through.
Yeah.
How do you know what parts to keep and what parts to toss?
I keep it all.
You keep it all?
Good.
Yeah.
It all looks good. But I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like that's the thing you learn over time, right? So like, especially for music videos, I kind of have a formula already.
Okay.
But when it comes to like, that's why I say every project is different. Like I'll go from doing a music video to shooting a wedding that weekend to then shooting a commercial.
Where do you store all this shit?
Damn, bro, mad hard drives.
Really?
Mad hard drives. So for y'all watching, yo, once we shoot, you got like a month. I'm keeping your shit. If you want it, you come and get it. If not, it's gone.
It's
gone. Yeah, bro. Mad hard drives.
I have two for this show because like the videos and audio files are huge.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I don't know how, like, especially when you say I shot like 10 to 12 in one day.
Yeah.
That's different.
Yeah, bro.
That's very, very different.
And I mean, you probably think like my files are big, but like, you know, you get to a point where it's like there's, you know, you're shooting cinema cameras, and like you need one video will take up 2 terabytes.
Really?
Yeah, bro.
So
it's like
what as far as your camera, what do you use?
I use a Sony A7S III.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have no clue what the fuck that is. Is it like
a
mirrorless?
Yeah, it's kind of like a little upgrade from yours.
Okay. That shit was expensive, bro.
Nice.
They're nice, but like I know some of you guys have like $5,000 cameras.
Yeah, for sure.
My boy Louis Bardalis, he runs Empower 610 podcast. I remember the first time he invited me out to one of his shoots just to come watch, and the camera he pulled out was like it was a DSLR, but it had like all these features and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, why does your camera look like that? He was like, it's mirrorless. I'm like, what does that mean? And he started explaining, and I'm like, how much you pay? He's like, bro, this is like $5,000. I was like,
Yeah, bro.
God, I couldn't imagine spending $5,000 on like something that wasn't a car. But I understand, like, it's an investment in yourself because this is what you do. This is what you love. Are your children interested in what you do? Well, I mean, your child.
Yeah, my daughter. I mean, she likes it. We got our food review show. That's pretty fun. We get to do that together.
I did see one episode. You were doing was it like a Peruvian spot or Argentinian spot or something like that?
Maybe we did a Mexican spot.
It might have been a Mexican spot.
We did
Yeah,
a Mexican spot. But we definitely got to hit some Peruvian, Argentinian
Yeah.
spots. I'm with all that.
there's a good Ecuador spot that you should check out. Then in Bethlehem.
Okay.
It's
What's
right
it called?
it's right down the block from Main Street. Francisco's.
Okay.
Francisco's. I'm not sure if you ever ate it. It's across
Nah.
the street from the 7-Eleven. It's right there on the corner. Delicious food. The pupusas, phenomenal. The steak is phenomenal. So if you want a new spot, go check that spot out.
Yeah, I've
over
never
there.
been there. I love food, bro.
You love food?
Yeah, that's number one for me.
That's why you back in the gym. You're like, we gotta counter this shit.
Yeah, word up, we gotta balance it. That's funny, man.
But I really love the fact that wait, I did have another question. It's in regards to the artists that you work with. So you're saying that now the artists give you a little bit more creative control. Do you prefer to work with artists that like they come in and they have like a real idea? They're like, yo, so I wrote this song about like getting robbed. Some woman set me up. Do you like when artists come in with something like that, or do you not mind that the fact that like some people just want to stand there and rap in front of a camera?
Oh, you mean like either do like a storyline or do
Yeah,
like a freestyle video?
Yeah, like is there a preference?
I think storylines are fun. You know, it takes obviously more time.
It's time,
to do.
yeah.
And then you also need a lot more moving parts if you want to do it right. You know, if you
what do you mean, like people?
People,
like,
people for sure. Different locations, different stuff to do. But I mean, I appreciate both. I just I like when people are respectful and we're able to work.
Yeah.
You know, like if somebody's too pushy and they're like, yo, I want this, I want that. Like, yeah, bro, you're gonna get that, but then I'm out.
I was gonna say, do you ever have a hard time working with artists?
For the most part, nah. I think some, and it's unintentional. Most like I'm very respectful with people, but I'm also not a pushover.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, it gets to the only time I've ever gotten into it with people might be like after when we're editing, where they're like literally want to change one clip that doesn't really matter. But before I'd be like, bro, this shit don't matter. You know, now I'm like, all right, bro, let's just change this shit. I don't really give a fuck.
Yeah.
You know
it's your project at the end of the day.
It's your project at the end of the day. But there's some people, it'll be like their first project. So they really wouldn't know, like, they just overthink it. It's their first time doing it. But for the most part, bro, everybody I deal with is pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I know working with other creative people, you get the egos sometimes.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
know what I mean? Some people feel like they're a little bit more entitled because, you know, they're known in this area, whatever the case may be. It gets tricky. And that's why I like to ask, because myself, I get an opportunity to work with a lot of artists. I do a lot of, like, other than this, I do a lot of other creative things. But I find myself in these spaces, and then like I'll watch them argue amongst each other, like about how many people are getting on a song or something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, it doesn't matter, bro. Let's just make the best music possible. You know, that kind of thing. Do you want to start making music again at any point? Or is it kind of shelved? Because this is the roots. It's the roots.
I don't know. Maybe in the long future, I'll drop a song one day. I'll surprise everybody.
At the very least, you should get on your own platform and
Word.
do one of those. How do you hang the mic?
You got like a C stand, it's called.
Okay.
It's like pretty much a stand that has like an arm that comes out of it, and then you just wrap the
wire around it.
and just
Okay, and
drop
it dangles.
Yeah.
I want to do one of those.
Hell yeah, let's do it.
I want to do one of those.
Let's do it, bro.
I was like, yo, and when I found out, it was when I had STG up here, when I had Sammy up here, and I was like, yo, who shot that? He was like, it's Nick Asenjo. I'm like, I didn't see his name on there. It just said the platform.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know, for me, that was new. That was the first time I've ever been exposed to it, even though it was been out for so long.
Yeah.
And then I went on this morning to like see how many videos was up there. You do have a shitload of videos up there. Do you travel for those? Like if somebody out of state wants that, or do they got to come to you?
I mean, like I said, the biggest thing for me was really just keeping them to those days, right?
Okay.
So like if I'm doing a certain day, if it's in New York, then that whole day's in New York. I'm trying to get as many artists as I can over there.
Okay.
Right? Because I got mad people that hit me up from New York, but I'm like, bro, I'm not taking it one day out of my schedule just to go shoot one.
Yeah.
I can't. It's not gonna make sense. For me.
We got to have a lineup ready to go. Do you ever feel comfortable going into like uncomfortable, like going into like spaces you're not really aware of?
I mean, yes and no. I'm always looking out, but like for the most part, I'm me, like I'm not looking for trouble.
Yeah, I'm there to do a job kind of
somebody
thing.
that's stupid and wants to bother me, then if it gets to a certain point, I'm just out.
Yeah. I like to ask that because I know like some people like to put guns in their video.
Yeah, no, for sure.
This was something I brought up to Hitman because Hitman back in the day used to shoot some real hood videos, and he used to have like there'd be 12 people in the frame, and they all got a gun in their hand and they're aiming at the camera, you know. So like I don't know like if that's uncomfortable for you or anything like that.
I mean, yeah, I do a quality safety check.
Yes,
make sure there's
empty
no
that
bullets.
shit.
Empty that shit. No bullets, no none of that. Like. You've heard too many stories, bro.
Yeah, of accidents.
It's like it could be a stupid accident, and it's like you just don't know who you're dealing with, especially when they got guns and stuff. But bro, it's like I don't know. I don't mind it, but I don't look for it either.
Yeah,
like the music stuff is cool, bro. But I'll be honest, bro, it's been like 3 months since I've done a music video.
Really?
Yeah.
You've been focused on like this on the business side of it.
Business side, bro. It's completely different. It's completely different.
How far do you think that can go? Do you think that can kind of take over for you, like ending with the music videos, or are you pretty much always
I wouldn't say ending, right? But then it gives me the leeway to be able to do what I like to do. Right?
Yeah. Okay.
Imagine having to shoot 10 music videos for people you don't really like. All right, well, I'm just getting paid. Or just doing one business video and I made the same amount of bread.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So then at the end of the day, now I got 9 more days where I could do passion projects. Now I got 9 more days where, I like this artist's music, but he can't afford $1,000. All right, bro, give me $500 and we'll make it work.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
So yeah, it sounds like it just gives you time freedom back.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like in the long run.
And I think for me, like that's the biggest thing. The older I get, like you asked me when I got here, I'm like, how involved of a dad are you? You seem like you're pretty involved.
Yeah.
That's what you said.
Yeah.
Bro, that's my everyday. I got my girl and I got my daughter. That's like
how do you make time for all of it?
I try to do everything from 9 to 5. The same time my girl's
you got
working,
office hours.
The same time my girl's working, I try to do everything from 9 to 5, get my workout in, get my work in. Then I could chill with my daughter and my girl when I get home.
That makes sense. Do you work on the weekends?
Yeah, sometimes.
Okay.
Try not to too much, but yeah, sometimes. Sometimes I have to travel, like especially like with a lot of business stuff. I got to go out of state, do different stuff. But yeah, bro, I'm trying to like I said, 10 years into it. I really want to get to a point where I could scale this, but where I could also like step away from it. Like there's a big thing that I respect with a lot of my business-oriented friends. They build their businesses, then they put people to fill them spots.
Yeah, to run it. Yeah,
and that's huge.
So do you have an apprentice?
I do and I don't. Like I think in the creative aspect of shooting videos, shooting commercials, short films, whatever it may be, there's something you can't teach, right? Creativity can't be taught, right?
Yeah.
It's technical skills on how to shoot, how to set your camera, all that stuff can be taught. But if I'm not there, I can't teach my friend how to be like, yo, like, the sun's over there. Maybe it'll make you feel a certain way if you put the camera down here. Like, yeah, I could tell them that. But it's like, are they really feeling that?
Yeah.
Like,
they have to get that themselves. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's why I say, like, in this, it's kind of hard to walk away. I could find editors, I could find people, but at the end of the day, I feel like I still got to shoot the video. Like that's what people are paying for. They're paying for me.
Yeah.
It's my creative aspect. Whereas like I can go on a set and they don't got an idea. Within 20 seconds, I got the whole shit mapped out. You know what I'm saying?
Damn. My man got scared.
So it's like, yeah.
That's what's up.
It's been doing it for so long, like 10 years of just videos. No other job. Like I've been paying my life just from this.
Oh.
Wow,
I mean? That's incredible.
Yeah,
that's incredible. A lot of people don't get paid for their creative passions.
Yeah,
a lot of it is just I love it. That's why I do it.
Yeah, and I was gonna say that back to you too because like I respect what you're doing. It's taking time. Like you had to believe in yourself to do the first episode. Yeah, right. Not a lot of people believed in it, and then you had to do your what episode are we on? Right
53.
53. Exactly, right?
Yeah.
By the time you got to 10, a couple people were like, "Oh shit, this shit's starting to pick up."
Yeah.
Now you at 30, and everybody's like, "Yo, can I get one?"
Yeah.
Same motherfuckers that you asked to be on first couple
Yeah,
ones, now they want to
yeah.
get on, and now you at 50. Imagine how it's gonna be once you get to 100. So I respect that a lot because I kind of want to do what you're doing. I would love to do that. I'm gonna kind of do that with the platform.
I was gonna say, well, if I could help in any way, just call. Just let me know, bro.
And I appreciate that.
I at the end of the day, bro, I want to see everybody win. I don't know why most people have this scarcity mindset that there's not enough for everybody, and there's more than enough for everybody, which is why some motherfuckers have so much. It's because there is excess.
Yeah.
And it's just like at the end of the day, if I give you what I got to offer and you take it and you run with it, you could pass it on to somebody else, and that love is gonna come back my way.
Exactly.
In some form or fashion, it is.
Word
you know
up.
what I'm saying? So when like the Fetty episode came up, I was like, Fetty's story isn't one that maybe a lot of people would see value in.
Yeah.
But I thought it was very valuable because a lot of people have never been through what he's been through.
Yeah.
And a lot of people has not lost as much time as he lost.
Yeah.
So when you take that into perspective and then having to come out and rebuild yourself, and you lost some of the most impressionable years of your life, how do you respond to that? A lot of people turn around and do the same thing. But then here you got it. You got a man that's taking every dime he got to invest into himself, into his creative process, into what he loves to do. And he's networking and he's learning. How can you not commend something like that? You know what I mean? And that's why I wanted to build this platform, because everybody probably knows you, Nick Asenjo, the videographer, but do everybody know the man? You know what I'm saying? And this is what it's about, is trying to like give people some insight to who they actually are as individuals.
Yeah, for sure.
So
it's dope. It's dope that you're doing that for people.
Thank you. Do you plan on staying here for like the rest of your life kind of thing?
Like
I've lived here all my life, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's cool.
It's cool.
Like,
were you born and raised here?
Nah.
No? Okay.
Nah. I was born in France.
France?
Yeah.
Oh, he's a foreign bad now.
I was born in France, and my parents are from Chile.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, so you were born there.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
At what age did you come here?
I came to the States when I was 6. We moved to Brooklyn, New York. Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say where'd you go first then? Because I know a lot of people don't come to Pennsylvania. Mm-mm. They'll go to like some bigger city first.
Went to New York. We was in Brooklyn for like a year. Then we moved to Allentown. Then Whitehall.
Okay.
Then Caddy.
How long did you live in Brooklyn?
I went from Paris to Caddy, bro.
Paris to Caddy.
My life got better and better.
That's a big change. That like I can only imagine. Like, well, do you remember it? Because you were really young.
Yeah, I love France. I remember France. I mean, it's just a different world, completely different world. I go back every like year or 2 years. Cause my brother, he still lives out in Paris, so I go visit him over there.
That's dope.
But it's definitely a different world, bro.
You ever take your daughter with you?
Yeah. She's been there twice already.
It's probably a culture shock for her but
she loved it.
Yeah,
she loved it.
I bet.
My brother got his son over there. They're kind of like the same age. They didn't know how to speak to each other, but they played the whole time.
Kid, it doesn't matter, bro. Playing is a language.
Yeah,
playing is a language. Wait, so do you speak any other languages?
Yeah, I speak French, Spanish, and English.
All right, I'm putting you on the spot.
Yeah.
All right, I want to hear something in French. Say.
Go ahead. My French is like the one I know. I can keep a conversation.
Okay.
But go ahead.
Jayceon's wearing a red shirt and black pants.
Jayceon un t-shirt rouge et pantalon noir.
Ah, it sounds like a little mix of like Spanish.
It is.
Yeah.
It derives from Latin. So they both derive from Latin, Spanish and French.
It's the way you got.
The R's. But not French. French has kind of like gotten away from me a little bit. It was my first language, right? French was my first, and then Spanish, and then English.
Okay.
But since I'm not there all the time.
You lose it. You don't use it.
But I can definitely keep a conversation with somebody. Like if somebody's talking to me, I can understand everything they're saying. But just to respond might take me a little bit longer.
Yeah, that's fire. I would have never guessed that you were from France. That's awesome. How many people know that?
A few.
A lot of people are gonna know it now.
I keep it in the tug, and I let it out at, where we at, 12 minutes, or where we at?
We're almost at the hour mark. When it gets to like 1400,
Yeah.
that's closer to the hour mark. So we're probably somewhere like in the 50-minute mark somewhere.
We've been
around there.
talking for 50 minutes.
Yeah, it goes fast, bro.
There's no way.
Look, it's
Damn.
12:48.
Damn. So I let people usually know like 40 minutes into it that I'm French.
Yeah. I figured I'd start with the videography thing because
Yeah.
I was like, I'm a fan of the work. So I was
Yeah.
like, I wanna fan out a little bit and get all my questions answered. And I was like,
Yeah.
you know, and then we'll get to the man behind it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's really dope. I would have never assumed that you came from France. I learned a lot about people when they come up here. Do you ever want to go back?
Yeah. I mean, I like it.
To live. I mean, to live.
To live. I don't know. I feel like I like it out here. I'm good out here, but it's like it would take a lot. Like I got most of my family here. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm very family oriented. I like spending time with my family. I'm blessed enough to have them around. So it's like if we all left, then maybe. You know what I'm saying?
That's understandable.
Yeah.
You sound very grateful. You
Yeah,
sound
for sure.
very grateful.
Over time.
My boy told me the one day, I don't remember what we said, but he was like, the last thing he said to me was like, you should be more grateful. Oh, he gave me like the last, like, it was a roach of a blunt.
Okay.
And I was like, here, you can take it. He's like, bro, keep it. I don't need it. I was like, I don't need it either. And then he walks out the door. He's like, you should be more grateful. But I felt like he was talking about something totally different than this roach he just gave me.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm like, you know, and I'm sitting here, I'm listening to you, and I'm like, I mean, I'm grateful too. I do my best to practice gratitude, but I'm sitting here listening to you. I'm like, you sound like a very, very grateful man for what you have.
Yeah.
You know, and that's and it's funny for me to say that, right? Because we spoke a little bit off the camera, and you let me know like you grew up with both of your parents and things like that.
But that's a funny one too, and I never really like put this out there, but like my parents were always very honest with me, right? They never hid anything from me.
Okay.
So like it's not to say they didn't get along. They've been together for 50 plus years.
That's
right?
beautiful.
Let me finish though.
Yeah. Just pump the brakes.
So all right, so look, so when I was 12 years old, like they would have their little arguments and stuff,
Yeah.
right? Never nothing physical, nothing crazy. You know, they were great parents, both of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember when I got to like 12 years old, my mom left. She was like, I can't be with your dad no more, but like not in a bad way. Like, I'm leaving. Like, yo, she sat me down. She's like, can't be with your dad no more. Like, okay, I get it. Y'all argue all the time. She's like, I'm going to France. I was 12, so we lived in Allentown at the time.
Okay.
She's like, I'm going to France. I'm going to live on my own. You can come with me if you want, or you can stay with your pops.
Wow.
So I was like, all right, well, all my friends are here. I'm young. I'm like, I'm going to just stay. She left for 6 months, and she couldn't do it on her own. So then she came back, and I was so young, I felt like mad about this shit. Like, I was like, damn.
About the fact that she left?
Yeah, I was like, damn, my mom left.
That's
like, At first, I
understandable.
was understanding, but then I'm like, damn, she really left.
Yeah. Like,
Right?
she really packed
She
that
comes
shit
back. They both sit me down. They're like, yo, when you turn 18, we're going to split up. I'm like, all right, cool. A week into me being 18, she had her own crib.
She wasn't fucking around.
But it's like they made those sacrifices for me.
Yeah.
And that shit meant a lot to me because, like, I have an older brother. My brother's 10 years older than me. My sister's 14 years older than me.
Okay.
Right?
Oh, wow. That's a big gap.
It's a big gap,
Yeah.
right? But they did what they did as parents, and they have a great relationship. It's like, bro, I still meet with my family all together once a week. We all eat together.
That's beautiful, bro.
Yeah, like my mom is there and my dad is there. They don't live together, but we're all together.
That's very, very adult. Like,
Yeah.
I only ever seen some shit like that, like where like even I've only ever seen like an aspect of like co-parents, like when they co-parent, they move on to other people,
Yeah.
and then they're all having like family gatherings,
Yeah.
so that way mom and dad could be there, but the step parents are there. Like, I'm like, that's really adultified because like you see it today, it gets ugly.
Yeah.
It gets ugly. Like when people fight a lot, it gets ugly. I'm sorry for assuming.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for assuming that like you grew up like your parents are married, and because when you said I had both of them, that was the first thing that went through my mind. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, he grew up with both his parents, living in the same house, everything was hunky dory.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
But like I said, but then to say that again, just to say it one more time, it's like they really talked to me through it. I feel like a lot of people go through separations and go through little things where this like they put the kids in between it, but they don't really express to the kids like, yo, this is happening because we don't get along. It doesn't mean we don't love you. We still love you. but we just can't be together because it might mess you up in the long
How
run.
how did that like mold you in your own way of being a father? Like did that have like I guess the open form of communication? I didn't have parents that talked to me. I got my ass whooped.
Yeah.
I had to figure out why I got my ass whooped. If I lost everything, like playing sports and shit, I had to figure out why.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like to me, it was like, oh, you know, I might have not did my homework, but to them, it was something else. You know. So like, did that have an imprint on you?
Yeah, I think that was huge. Like my parents always had my back. I never felt like they always supported me in one way or another. I remember even when I told you I would engineer people, my pops he helped me build a booth in my closet.
That's fire.
You know what I'm saying? Like little shit. Like he would let people come to my crib. He would let people smoke in the yard. Like, you know, they all supported what I wanted to do. When I went to school for filmmaking, they supported that. So it's like,
yeah, very understanding parents.
Yeah, bro. And it's like, you know, this is money invested. This is like shit. Like it was a lot of, like even with school, right? They would be like, yo, do your homework and then you can do what you want. After a couple months and years of telling me that, then they don't got to tell me that. Yeah. You know, but
it's already ingrained.
Yeah, but I've always seen them too. Like, you know, they from Chile and lived in France. They lived through a lot of shit being raised. Like my mom was dead poor. My pop's only child. Like in Chile, bro, it was like a state of emergency where they lived. Like they had a curfew at 3 p.m. with tanks roaming the street.
What, like they were like going through like some civil war kind of thing?
The head of the army killed the president and took over the country for 12 years.
Oh, it was a coup.
Yeah.
Holy.
Yeah, bro.
And your parents lived through that?
Yeah.
Holy
So that's how they got to France. Like a lot of people were refuging to France. Like they went through a lot of shit.
That it sounds like a lot.
But their mentality, bro, like I said, they always had my back and they always defended me no matter what, even if I was wrong, which is sometimes it's a little crazy to do.
Yo, you sound like you had great parents. Like I understand they go through real life issues. Yeah. You know, being in a relationship, that's hard work. Like people, I don't think people realize that. Like, yeah, we could sign papers and get married, but like everybody's like, I could just get divorced kind of thing. Like it's very hard to like stick it out, still manage to not like leave your responsibilities behind, and then still make sure there's enough peace so that way we can be a family in some semblance.
Exactly.
Like and your parents managed to do all that shit all while going through real life shit. Yeah. That's incredible. You have some incredible parents.
Yeah, man.
That's
cool.
That's
the biggest thing too is like they never embarrass me in front of anybody. I think that's what I see a lot in parenting nowadays. Like a lot of parents want to look cool. So they like, you know, you go through Walmart or some shit and you see some mom yelling at their son. Because like, oh, don't pick that box up. I told you 1,000 times. Yeah. And they like reprimand them in front of people, right? Like what you're teaching your kid is they could yell at you in front of people, right? Yeah. So when they get old enough, what they going to do?
They're going to do it to their
kids. Yell
kids.
At you or yell at you in front of people. Yeah. They're not going to have no respect for you. So it's like that will for me, that's the biggest thing when it comes to parenting. Like I'll never embarrass my daughter in front of anybody. You do something crazy, you do something that you might have fucked up and did something big, right? I'm going to tell you at home. I ain't going to tell you in front of people. I'm going to have your back in front of people. Right. I'm going to show you that no matter what, you could count on me.
We're united in this shit.
You know what I mean? So it's like as I got older, having that backbone and them always doing that, yo, I got in trouble mad times. I never hid it from them. Like they were like my friend, like, yo, I fucked up. I'll go to them for advice. Whereas there's people, they build this relationship with their kids where don't do it or I'm gonna fuck you up. Yeah. Right?
It's like a scare tactic.
It's like a scare tactic. And now the kid's fucked up. He did something bad.
And he don't even want to come to you.
He don't even want to come to you. So it's like you took everything away. You're supposed to be like their best friend. You would want them to come to you before they come to anybody else.
He's talking that shit right now.
You know what I'm saying?
He's talking that, and I love the fact that you're bringing this up because the way that I was raised ain't the way me and my wife raise our children.
Okay.
You know what I mean? We're very open with our children.
That's what's up.
We create like safe spaces in the house. Like, listen, we're the only people that are gonna have your back. So be honest with us. It might make us upset, but we got your back first and foremost. Yeah. And we have a relationship with our kids that I don't think anybody in my family has ever had with their parents.
That's beautiful, bro.
But it stemmed from like, I mean, I got to where you're at, but it came from like the other side of the pole. It was something that it was lacking in my life. And I was like, I never want to, because I had a mom, she'll fuck you up in Walmart. You know what I mean? I remember one time we got our family pictures done in JCPenney.
Yeah.
We were waiting in line and I got bored waiting and I kind of just started walking around the store, disappeared.
Yeah.
They panicked. They thought I was lost or something like that. They got on the loudspeaker, and they ended up finding me like in like the boys section, looking at clothes and stuff. I got my ass whooped right before they called us in for the pictures, like literally 30 seconds before.
Oh, wow.
I'm walking to the back into the film room, wiping my face, and you better smile too. Like,
Damn.
you know what I'm saying? Like that's real shit that like I had to endure. And I was like, yo, I cannot do no shit like that to my.
Yeah.
And I love my mom. I don't hold her for it.
Yeah.
It is like the one thing I think we as children don't realize is that our parents are learning too.
Yeah, for sure.
And
they learned from somewhere.
And they learn from somewhere.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is systemic shit. Like my mom had my grandmother didn't fuck around, and my grandmother's mother did not fuck around. Like, so we got a long list. It's trauma.
Yeah.
It is, but it didn't start with my mother.
Yeah, for sure. And just like you said, it is some systemic shit because, bro, that shit used to even happen in school. Kids used to get their ass whooped by teachers.
Like paddling and shit like that.
Bro.
Yeah.
So it's like
and it was a normalcy. The further you go back, the more normal it was.
Yeah.
Like just the way you handle children, some of this shit. And this is the one thing I like about this generation. People like to call this generation like soft and things like that.
Yeah.
But I think they get that rap because they're more aware of things that the past generations weren't.
Yeah.
Like, and I would consider myself in that generation of people as well as yourself, where it's like we raise our kids not according to how like it was done to us in many aspects. Now you is a little bit different because you had parents that talk to you and things like that, which is beautiful, bro, because that helped you. And now you're in a position where like you can bring good to your daughter.
Yeah, for sure. And I think like you said, this is just really learning how to do it. It's cool that you were able to learn it on your own, right?
It wasn't
like,
easy.
Kind of like being like, yo, I'm gonna do the opposite of this.
Yeah.
Because like my parents, they talked to me, but it also wasn't no soft shit. Like, bro, I seen my mom fight in front of me. You know, like I seen her fight.
You said they came out of a war-torn country,
I seen her
bro.
fight some lady because she took a toy away from me at the park. I still remember this shit. I was like 4 years old, bro, but I remember her fighting in front of me.
Wow.
Like, so it's like, and I see my dad. My dad was always like, not a hothead, but he won't let nobody talk shit. You know?
He's the man. He's the man.
So it's like there's a mix of that. It's like they would act up, but not with the family.
Yeah.
You know?
I do have a question, like as far as like how did they handle, so you guys communicated well, but how did they handle like when you did fuck up? Like how was that like, you know?
So I would say like I still got my ass whooped, but it's probably like 5 times, right?
Okay.
So 5 good times I remember throughout my life where I got kicked or punched or whatever, I got my ass whooped, right? Because I really did some shit.
You fucked up.
So it's like I fucked up way more than 5 times. You know what I'm saying? So that goes to say there was 5 times where I got my ass
where it was worthy.
But there was a lot of times where it was just talked about, like, but they helped me make sense of it.
Yeah.
Like, bro, you're fucking up. Obviously, what my mom always told me is like it takes 1 second to really be able to in 1 second you could fuck up your whole life. You know what I mean? 1 second could change everything. So it's like you got to really think about what you're doing at all times. There's a lot of, you know, as you're growing up, people are reckless. They don't really give a fuck. Even a lot of these artists I deal with.
Yeah.
They try to act cool, get this persona, and it's like, bro, like, you look retarded.
Yeah,
like,
be you. Be authentic.
Be you, bro. Like, what you're doing right now just looks like you doing it so somebody could say, oh, he's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like, nah, bro. Like, this shit, that don't last.
Be yourself.
Be yourself.
I honestly, you're probably the first person that I've ever met where you told me that your parents sat you down and talked to you, and they broke a foot off in your ass when you needed it, but they talked to you. Because I wanna talk to the people, like, there is a way that we can parent our children without having to whoop their ass all the time.
Yeah.
Because my children, I whoop ass at my house, but the only time my kids get their ass whooped is when they earn that ass whooping. Most of the time, they might get like a pluck in the head. Like, come on, man, think about that. Like, you know, one of those things, like just trying to get them back on the path. But we don't hit our kids.
Yeah.
For the most part, we sit them down. We have conversations with them. Yeah. And because they're here to learn, bro. They're here to learn. And as a parent, I still make mistakes.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, my son come home from after school program and I didn't leave the door unlocked for him, or I didn't give him his key and I was supposed to. Like, I still fuck up. But it's a process.
For sure.
It's a process. And I think some people try to rush that process. or handle it the way it was handled for them. Like my sister says that all the time. Oh, we were raised this way. We survived it. And I'm like, that doesn't make it okay. Like, you know. So I really love the fact that, like, yo, man, you came from a good home and you came up here and spoke about that, because I think it needs to be said that, like, we can do things. We can be just as impactful with our kids doing things one way and the other. Like, there's 1,000 ways to skin a cat.
For sure.
Yeah.
And we're the example.
We're the example. We set the example.
He looks at you. He hit record on that camera, because you never know what he'd be doing in the future.
He was like, Dad, he's like, when can I get on the podcast again? I'm like, maybe we could do it after this episode.
That'd be dope.
Yeah, like just trying to provide a space for the kids where it's conducive to them to learn and want to grow. I
like that.
That, you know, we don't grow up in an area with a lot of kids that have that experience. Yeah. So, you know, if we could do it for ours, maybe our kids can help some of those kids. Yeah, man. Yo, we are at the time. Hey. We made it. Hey. It went quick.
That went mad quick. I could talk to you forever, bro. There's a lot to talk about.
Well, listen, for every single person that I've invited up here for the first time, they got an invite for the second one. So whenever you want to make this happen again, we could definitely make this happen again. It's not going to be here, of course, but we can make it happen over there. Because I feel like there's a whole lot of shit we didn't get to touch on.
Yep.
I know there is. I didn't even get through all the questions. Mm-hmm. I had to abandon the questions.
No, I appreciate you, man. This was definitely dope. It's my first time doing this too.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's dope.
I hope it was cool, calm, collected for you. Let the people know where they can find you.
Nick Asenjo Films at Nick.
It sounded like you said nigga Asenjo.
You feel me?
So you said Nick Asenjo
Nick
Film?
Asenjo Films on pretty much everything. Also, you can look up nickasenjo.com. That's NICKASENJO.com. And yeah, that's me.
And if you want to get on the platform, if you haven't seen none of the videos, go check them out. But if
we
you
got
want
some
to get on
dope
the platform,
stuff coming for the platform. I'm definitely gonna take a page from his book. We doing a podcast too. We're gonna start a little interview type. Not too much podcast, but like just talking. And yeah, we'll see what else happens.
Bet. Yo, thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. Yeah. Make sure you go follow Nick Asenjo. Make sure you hit him up if you need any of your visuals done for your music or your business. He does it all, man. Thank you again for coming up here. Shoot for the moon. If you miss, you still amongst the stars. Peace.
I've been on my grind just to live it out. Say what's on your mind just to hear it loud. Everybody knows me, really.